Good morning, and with us, star of the small screen, the big screen, and even Broadway, coming to Dixon this weekend, Mr. Tony Danza. Good morning.
Good morning, Charles. How you doing?
Doing great. Now, I tell you what, it's going to be an awesome time having you come to the Dixon Historic Theater with your Standards and Stories tour. You are a very busy man. First off, a storied career, starting out on TV and really being in everyone's living rooms for almost 2 decades. And now you're out and about doing fun stuff like this. First off, I gotta ask, you're being a showman, you're doing this whole Sinatra, Dean Martin vibe thing maybe a little bit and adding your own mix to it with the tap and stuff. Was there an idol growing up that somehow in your 20s or your teens you went, when I have the opportunity, I'm going to go out and do this?
No, you know something, Charles? I talk about this in the act. I never had any musical training when I was a kid. I wasn't interested. I didn't. I do a thing. I said I hadn't learned that in order to be interesting, you have to be interested. You know, it came to me like last week. I feel a lot better. But anyway, Taxi changed my life. Taxi changed my life. When I got that incredible break, you know, a lot of people get a break in Hollywood, but not a lot of people get a break like that. And I'm doing a play in New York right now, and Judd came last night to the play, so we're really close, that group. But anyway, so when I got to Taxi, I was in one of the best shows on TV, and I was surrounded by these incredible performers and writers, and so it sort of, I woke up, and I that's when I started taking tap dance classes, and then when what happened is and by the way, to answer your question, they were all my idols. I mean, I couldn't believe that they could do a movie in the afternoon and then that night go and goof around on the stage, sing and dance. And I love the idea of somebody of myself being able to just, give me the mic, I'll sing. You know what I mean? That was, I remember I took an acting class, and that was one of the things they made you do, because it takes a lot of guts to get up there and open your mouth in front of everybody. So it's been, my mother turned me on to it, and that's what happened. And, you know, people ask me, what's your show like? It's like the old TV variety shows. So you have a host, and then you have a lot of different acts. In my show, I'm the host and all the other different acts. So I like to give the people a show, and we've been all over the country. People really have really been enjoying the show. It's unbelievable, you know, when you write something, Charles, and it works. So it's thrilling, and it's so much fun. And the more fun I have up there, the more fun the audience has. And I have just about the hottest 4-piece band you've ever heard or seen, and it's just a lot of fun.
Tony Danza with us. Standards and Stories coming to the Dixon Theater Saturday night. Tickets on sale. Show starts off at 7:30 at the great venue there in Dixon. It's going to be a great time. And with not only just singing, you're tap dancing. Again, smooth on your feet, which I assume goes back to the boxing days, right?
Well, I was a plodder. I used to just walk. I used to just come straight in all the time. I tried not to take a backward step and tried to bomb guys out. But no, you know what happened? We were doing Taxi. Taxi. It was the last year of Taxi, and we did a show called Fantasy Cab. By the way, Tony Banter's, my character's fantasy was to be smart, but Mary Lou's fantasy was to be a Broadway star. And so we did this production number. We came around the post in the garage, and when we came on the other side, we were all in top hat and tails, and we pretended in this production number to tap dance. And so that afternoon, I said, I got to learn how to do this. I was a big, Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire fan, and I stopped at a studio on the way home, a dance studio on the way home, asked if they had a tap guy, a tap teacher, and they said, yeah, he's in the back. I went in the back. There was this little guy. with a little beret on, and he was smoking a cigarette, and he had a jacket on. And I said, "Hey, you the tap dance teacher?" And he goes, "That's right." I said, "Well, I'd like to take lessons." He says, "Come on in, we'll dance." And he put on music, and he had me dancing. And his name was Pat Rico, one of the truly greats of all time. And I've been doing it ever since. And so that's in the act. I also bring out my secret weapon. My secret weapon.
I'm going to guess it's small and made of wood.
Oh yes, it is. It's my ukulele, and we, it's the craziest thing. It's wonderful. I had a thought for the day calendar, and it said, get a ukulele, a chord book, practice 30 minutes a day for 30 days. You'll entertain yourself, your friends, and your family for the rest of your life. It was a long thought that day, but I did it. And so now it's in the show. I used to, one time I play a little trumpet, so very little, but I play a little. And I decided I wanted to put the trumpet in the act. I came in and I played tenderly with the band. And when we finished, there was like silence for a minute, and then the guitar player said, "Okay, who's going to tell him?" So we try anything, we really try anything. So it's supposed to be, Charles. It's supposed to be a show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't want you're not coming. I want you to have the whole experience, and that's what we try to do. And then we even have a surprise or more. We do the American Songbook, but we have a surprise at the end, maybe that could be a little more contemporary.
Yeah. Tony Danza bringing his standards and stories tour to the Dixon Theater. How many years have you been on the road doing this show?
Well, this particular show, I've been on the road a while doing this one because I wrote it to get into the Carlisle, and people love it. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But what happened? I had a bad, 1993, I hit a tree skiing. I almost killed myself, broke my back, broke 8 ribs, put one in my lung, it collapsed, one in my liver, one in my kidney. It was a really bad accident. And there was all sorts of guys. I do a bad joke. When you wake up on a respirator, you look up, everybody's crying, including the priest. You say, "Man, I need a second opinion." So, it was a pretty bad thing, and there was some dire predictions. And it took me 2 years to come back from it, but I came back. And so I said to myself, "You're getting a second chance. What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'll try to be a song and dance man."
Yeah.
And so I think 96, Merv Griffin gave me a job at Resorts in Atlantic City, and I went and tried it. And I've been doing it ever since. It's wonderful. It really is something because it's a form that there aren't a lot of people doing. There aren't a lot of them. It's an old world like nightclub show.
Yeah. Right now you're balancing this. Plus, you've got Broken Snow on Broadway. That's just starting out.
Yeah.
You've been on Broadway before. How excited are you about this show?
This show is so interesting. It's dark. It's a little dark, but it's so interesting. And it was with Michael Longfellow from SNL, and is one of the other actors. There's 3 of us, and Tom Cavanaugh. And it's a really thought-provoking, interesting show. And we've been in previews, and so we're just really starting to get a real grip on it, where it's starting to hit on all cylinders. So, or at least I am. I have a 3-page monologue I had to learn. Oh man!
Oh boy!
So it's a challenge, and so it's great.
And Tony Danza with us. You can check him out. The Dixon Historic Theater happening Saturday night. Standards and stories. Song and dance man, TV star extraordinaire. Tony, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to be in Dixon.